the westernunion.com VIP lounge.
It's 106 KMEL, your girl Shay Diddy here, and I have the pleasure of sitting down with Tory Lanez.
I got the pleasure of sitting with you.
Don't say it like that. Come on, bro. We got business to talk.
Of course.
So let's
Plenty of
talk about,
business.
say it, your first single
Yeah.
off the album.
Yeah, it's the first one off the album. I'm very excited about it because it's it's an incredible record, number one, but it's also very classic. I guess from the sample from Brownstone and stuff like that.
Right.
So I'm very, very happy about it.
Very happy. Why you seem very like shy. You be turned up.
Nah. The craziest thing is like I'm just very relaxed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a anxious person or I just be chilling
like that.
on stage. It's mad theatrical and different, but
right. So what made you want to go to a classic '90s track to kind of flip it to create? Say it.
For me, I'm a real fan of the '90s and everything that came out of that era.
Mm-hmm.
And I even had a project before this called the Chicks Tape 2.
Yeah.
And it was like where we did a lot of flips of a lot of things like that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because the first time that I got or when I signed the Interscope, they put me in a session with this dude named Pop Wanzel.
Yeah.
And it was weird because he just started playing a sample of this record, and I never had heard the Brownstone record originally before I did the song.
Never heard it?
Not before I did the song, no.
Oh, wow.
So it just felt like the vibe of what we was kind of already doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so before he could even finish the beat, he had a loop. And I was like, yo, put that in. And I just ran in the booth, and I did it off the feeling and the emotion just at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
So you just pretty much freestyle and just go.
Yes.
How you feel. So what do you need when you're in the studio? Like, what kind of artist are you? Do you smoke?
I smoke. That's about it. I don't do drugs. Like,
the extras.
I never popped a pill in my life. I don't do anything like that. I might drink from time to time, but not in the studio.
Mm-hmm. Did you have a bad experience or something like that?
No, me personally, it's just not for me. I like my face to look pretty. I don't want to, wake up one day, couple holes in my face or something crazy, scratch marks.
Don't say that. Well, that's really funny when you say it like that, because I heard a rumor that you were supposed to go on tour with Young Thug, but the tour date got postponed or something along those lines.
Yeah, well, I guess the tour got canceled, and we just decided to hop off of the tour and then do our own tour. Okay. So right now I'm on the Swave Nation tour.
Yeah. Which is dope that you're doing your own tour.
I'm happy because everything's selling out.
Right.
Everything has been like a remarkable just outlook. Like, damn, like we're really doing this. So
right.
For me, it's just amazing.
That's dope for the fans too. They're like, yo, Tory coming on his own. That's weird.
Yeah, I want to give him an hour set instead of having to do 30 minutes or having to shorten the set for the headliner. Like, I'd rather just be the headliner and,
right.
Give him everything that I want to give him, all that emotion. It can't just be packed into 30 minutes. It just won't work.
He's like, no, we need more time than that.
It's too much, it's too much emotion there.
So how'd you link up with Mac Miller? Because I heard that you were doing your own tour, but then jumping on some of his shows too.
See, what's crazy about it is our tour goes into his tour and then out of his tour. So I'm doing I'm not doing his whole tour. I'm doing a couple of dates in his tour for like the Texas runs and some of the West Coast runs.
Yeah.
And basically, our tour is like, I think up to I don't want to sound stupid. I think up to like the 20th, and then we go to his for like up to December 1st, and then from December 1st to December 18th, that's our tour again. So. And then we don't never hop off the bus, so it's like we just still tour. Yeah, we just working. It's just a lot of work. We just
blended and we in the same spots. Let's do it together, rock with it. Well, that's dope. How you find the time to work in your album then if you constantly touring?
I got the studio on the bus.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
What?
I work every night in the hotel rooms and stuff like that. And when I'm off, when I get vacation time, that's all I'm doing. I'm always in the studio. Like, I got this weird theory that like, if I'm not in the studio for like 18 hours or something that's like crazy, that to the point where I just can't function, then somebody else is in there.
It's true.
And somebody else is putting that extra hour in that I can't function, and I can't have that.
Like, can't nobody outwork me.
I plan on being the biggest artist in the world.
Right.
I'm going to be the biggest artist in the world. There's nothing in my mind that tells me anything different. And because of that, it's like I feel like, it's so much more work that has to go into it.
Right.
You know, it's 365 days in a year. Average artist that's really, really popping, really only popping for like 10 iconic years. You know, let's
Yeah.
give them 15. How many times does 365 go 15 times?
Right.
Feel me? It's gonna come really quick. I don't got time to be to be slowing down and not working every second that I got to work. You know,
So you spend your spare time pretty much in the studio. That's what you
working.
want to
I'm
do.
always working,
That's-
directing, editing, anything that has to do with the craft.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's funny because I look at you, and I remember when I first heard your record, and then I heard another record. I was like, let me see what else he got. And I was like, this sounds like a completely different person. I'm not sure this is the right Tory. I had to double check it. Like, is this the right person?
Nah,
and I
yeah.
was like, yo, his style is so diverse that you are one of those artists that you'll never get bored with because it's never
Yeah.
the same thing.
And
You know
that's
what I mean?
that's part of the philosophy of a genre of music that, you know, I think is starting to be the new wave of music in general, and it's called swavy.
Mm-hmm.
And basically meaning that, you know, it's basically the genre of fusing more than one genre together and
Right.
and you know, making it your own. You know, there's artists right now that are rapping and singing and sound completely different when they do the two, but that's their own. You know, no one can take that from them. No one can, you know, deprive them of those talents.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I made this genre so that people like us and people, you know, who are rapping and singing and who are, you know, doing a little bit of reggae with a little bit of rock and people who are
Right.
doing all these genres together, they don't get encased to one sound. They don't have to pick a lane. They could just be free
Be what you
and
want.
be without limitation.
People, I mean, I think that people want a little diversity in people's albums.
Of course.
in
I
their
think
work.
I think when you really look at it right now, the hottest artists that, you know, everybody likes are not one dimensional. They're
Yeah.
doing different things. They're mixing genres together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the hottest artists are doing swavy music right now.
Who do you think is the hottest artist right now?
Besides myself,
Of course.
I don't know if I want to give people the cosign live or not. Just playing.
Like, you gotta pay me for that.
Nah, I think there's a lot of swavy artists. I think Drake is a swavy artist. I think Bryson Tiller is a swavy artist. I think even look at Trey Songz, people like Chris Brown, people who be rapping and singing and fusing genres together. There's all sorts of other people. I think
Nicki Minaj does that.
even Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
These are people who Lil Wayne is an incredible example.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne is somebody who fused into from rap.
To rock.
He was singing
Yeah.
to rock. Came out with a rock out. That's swavy. Like that's me doing whatever I want to do, and I'ma be me in all of it. You know, and that's what I respect about him. And yeah, you know, it's just the list goes on and on with new artists right now. Cause
That's
you know,
dope. Well, I'm excited to hear your new album because do you have a date for when it's gonna be released yet, or?
no, I do know that it's coming out next year, and I do know that it's gonna be one of the most timeless things of our generation. This is gonna be one of the timeless gems of our generation, where it's like, you know how the '90s had this album and had that album, and you know, and the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and
Yeah.
all those, you know, and for when we were growing up, you know, or at least because I'm kind of young and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I know
How old
you're
are you?
very young too. I'm 23.
Are you?
Yeah.
Aw.
How old are you?
None of your business.
There's no way you
Yeah,
a
you
year
telling you.
older than me. There's no.
Yeah, I'm 23 too.
I believe it. You look like you're 22.
Aw.
Nah, but for real, just things like that. Like it's gonna be a timeless gem of our generation. You know.
So you're gonna be rapping and singing on there, do
Of
pretty
course,
much everything.
it's gonna be.
I want to hear a Rasta voice out of you.
Oh,
I want
yeah?
to hear like a reggae track from you. That'd be dope. For real.
Nah, you might mess around and hear that on the project.
Like if I hear you and Movado on a track, I might lose my
You
shit.
might hear some crazy wild stuff on the project.
Now, a few weeks ago, I was talking to G-Eazy, and he told me that he has you on his album.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that's super dope.
Yeah.
Are you getting any features from like G-Eazy or maybe any other local artists that we may know?
I don't know. The thing about this album for me is I'm not one of those dudes that feels like I need features.
Yeah.
I want to be, you know, as self-expressive with my music as possible. You know, I want people to understand that I'm doing all these backgrounds. I'm doing all the vocals that you hear on this. There's no person who comes in the studio and goes and, the only people I want to feature on my project are people from my own camp, One Umbrella.
Yeah.
People like Brittany Taylor. She's a new girl that we just started messing with.
Yeah.
Davo, Rory True Story, Brooks O, Sos, Yoko Gold.
Right.
It's just these are people that I've already put a stamp on, and I know that next year in 2016 they'll be coming out with their projects and they'll be out.
Right.
And it's like those are the people that I'm gonna introduce probably on my album and on my next projects.
That's gonna be dope. I like that. It's like running with the squad. We're gonna all come up
Always,
together.
always. But the thing about it, this one is when people usually run with their squad and their squad is never as hot as the main dude.
Yeah.
It's not one of those situations. Everybody is everybody, and I don't say that to big them up because like I'm not gonna say it if it's not true.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've had a couple of homies that rapped with me before that just weren't hot like that. But
Right.
these people that I'm talking about, the stamp is. It's ridiculous. These people are either more talented than me or just as,
Yo, that's a big statement coming from you.
It's a very, very big stamp. Not,
He was like, I'm just saying, look out for him in 2016. Well, you know what? Speaking of stamps, I was on Twitter, and my dude Post Malone gave you a stamp and basically said he was drinking like 13 beers with you. And he said track number 3 is pretty much fire. Or he said number 3, insinuating that number 3, I don't know if it was mixtape, number 3 on an album, was fire. And I was like, are they working together? What they doing? How y'all link up?
Nah, I met Post at a it was this concert that we had at South by Southwest.
Yeah.
And he was a
Oh, you
real
told me about
genuine.
that.
Yeah, he was a real genuine dude. He was just like, I've been listening to the music and I had just heard him. My dude Uno had put me on to him. I had just heard him. And I didn't know if it was him, but he had a jersey on that said Malone.
Oh, nice.
But I never knew what he looked like because I had heard the song, but I never, because he didn't have a video at that time.
Yeah.
And so I remember he turned around and I asked him, I was like, yo, you Post? And he was like, yeah, yo. And I was like, I'm Tory. He's like, yo. And it was just one of them things where it was it was cool. And then I met him in L.A. We was in the studio and he came through and he just, he's a very genuine dude. He just sips beers all day and he smokes cigarettes and he just sings. And, he's just a cool
cracking
dude.
jokes, laughing.
He's the coolest. But yeah, we were just chilling and working in the studio that day, but nothing came out of it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully in the future there'll be some stuff.
So pretty much
We was too busy bullshitting.
It's all good. That's why we got
psych.
editing.
Okay, cool. I'm like psych.
Like, oh, my bad.
My fault.
No, you good. No, that'll be dope. I'd like to see you and Post on the same track. I think y'all got a style that'll blend very well. So
Definitely.
whether you want to rap or sing, y'all sound dope together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Now, well then, let's keep it moving then. So is it true that you're actually ghostwriting? Because I did hear that you were ghostwriting for a lot of people.
Always. Still ghostwrite to this day. Still write reference things. I still, write hooks. I write songs for people. The thing about ghostwriting is there's nothing wrong with you getting a ghostwritten record. Sometimes you write something that it doesn't really, you just was being creative and it really might speak to somebody else a certain way where the song speaks to them so much that they want to sing it, and it's like it may not mean what it means to them. They gonna sing it a whole different way. They gonna sing it in their own lane of way of singing it, and it's like there's nothing wrong with having a record by somebody else if you don't write like that or if you didn't think of that. Sometimes you need somebody to come in and help. It's nothing wrong with that.
I think that what people mostly have issues as far as ghostwriting is just as far as like the bars on the rap. As far as like,
I mean, no one should be writing your rhymes, but
right. If it's like a hook, it's whatever.
Yeah, I've written rhymes for other people. I've written verses, and I still do. But I mean, I don't be feeling like I should be writing nobody's raps because when I write my own rhymes, it's like, well, I don't really write. I freestyle everything. But when it comes out of myself and it comes out of me in the booth, it's off of the emotion and things that are just going on in my mind that I just want to spew out and just say.
Yeah.
So I don't think that should ever be written for you. I think if you're having trouble, with rhymes or writing rhymes, then I think that you should just spend a little bit more time just with yourself and with your pen, and just getting better because it's a muscle. It's like your brain is really just it really is like when the more you rhyme, the stronger it gets. The more cadences and flows you get, the more different things you find out when you explore it. So
Right.
just, get back to your pen game and work at it.
Well, it was funny to me because some of the people that were named that you possibly had written for or helped write, ghostwrite for, or whatever, were people like Travis Scott, Meek Mill, T.I. I heard you worked with Akon and on a Akon and G-Eazy track as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a weird misconception where people was like, Tory said he's Travis Scott's writer, or he's Meek's writer, or never said that. I write hooks. I've made hooks. One specific hook that Meek and Travis sang.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. I mean, I wrote it, and they sang it. It wasn't one of those things I was trying to put anybody out there, or,
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, I still write to this day. I wrote the Been Getting Money joint on G-Eazy's album. I wrote the August Alsina joint on Meek's album, My Niggas. Just stuff like that,
Yeah, it's not no big deal. I was just curious.
I'm not writing no one's verses though. I'm not out here writing verses.
So I was like, you got to clarify.
Don't ever
ghostwriting.
I write hooks. Like I make hooks. Like people been singing people's hooks since the beginning of time.
So you're the hook master.
The hook god. I'll just play. Nah, but for real, I am the LeBron of the hooks right now.
You are the LeBron of the hooks.
Because it's so effortless for me. Like it's
right.
like I go in there, it's like 5 minutes, and I got I made Lord Knows the intro on Meek Mill's album.
Yeah.
That hook I made in like 3 minutes. Was just a, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, this is tight. And that was it. Like I'm like Godfather records that I did. Say It. The hook for Say It was made in literally 5 minutes. You're gonna have to do more than just. It's just it was made off of feeling. It's in the moment. It's just how I feel. It's just and it's just it works.
How do you get to that emotion level where you can just walk in? Like, does it take you 18 hours to finally get into the zone? Like, how do you get in that zone?
For me, it's one of those things where I just listen to the beat. I listen to the chord progression. I don't even really sit with the beat like that. Like a lot of artists sit with the beat and then all the creativity they're sitting there, they're humming it out and stuff. I don't do that. I just go in the booth. I may have listened to the beat for like 30 seconds, and then I'll go in the booth, and then whatever comes out of me right then and there, it's like the first inspiration I get, I got to go in the booth and spit it out and hear how it sounds.
Right.
And then I'll just go from there.
If you don't like it, have you ever been like, man, it's trash, I got to get up out of here, take a break?
No, what I'll do is I'll just go put another beat on, and I'll just try to get other inspiration, and then I'll go back to that beat if I thought there was like, something there for it,
Is that a Canada thing?
What you mean?
Not like that. Well, I know Drake has said it before that he spends hours in the studio. Like, is that like a Canada thing where you guys
I don't know.
just?
I guess it's a music thing. Like we just like music. Like we like when you're someone who loves the music, the studio is the place that you want to be. It's where the creation happens. It's where everything is. It's like this is where the rest of your life is. All the songs that you make are gonna be done here, and it's like all the emotions, especially when you're an honest artist, and that's one thing that I do appreciate about Drake's music is he's very honest.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're an honest artist, it's like you need to be in the studio as long as you can be, because all throughout our lives we go through certain emotions that's like it has to just be like let out right then and there.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the music, the more you're in the studio when things are just happening, girls are saying this on your phone or this is going on this, and your manager is telling you got to do this, and 1,000 things are going on in your head, things going on with your family. You need a notepad to put this on, and a notepad that's gonna record so you can go back the next day and hear it.
Right.
And that's the beauty of being in there so long.
It's like a diary.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's super dope.
But you write your diary in the studio. But that's for honest artists and artists that really have a love and a patience for the music.
Right. So when you first decided to sign, I believe you signed with Interscope. Did you think about signing with OVO?
No. That was never on my mind. I'm One Umbrella, which
Mhm.
is our squad and our team.
Mhm.
And like I said, I have a different legacy to uphold, and I'm gonna be the biggest artist in the world, and I'm gonna share that with the umbrella.
Mhm.
No disrespect to OVO or
Of
anybody
course.
like that. It just was not a thing for me. For me, it was I'm head captain of my squad, and
Yeah.
of the things that I'm the person that break the door down for us. So
Building your empire.
if of course, and we're gonna be as big as a Universal, as big as an Interscope.
Right.
It's gonna be so much bigger than just the independent label. Is that's not. Don't try to misconstrue that. Throw a jab at anybody. It wasn't one of those. But we just have an expectation. Like the way I have an expectation for me being the biggest artist, and I know that that's gonna happen unless somebody shoots me and I die, which I don't see
What?
happening.
Don't say
But
that, bro.
no, I'm
Come
just saying that's
on.
the only thing that can stop me from being the biggest artist. But just like I see that, it's the same way we all see the umbrella in our own way, and we all see the umbrella being that big and being one of the biggest corporations.
Mhm.
Forget the music for a second, just one of the biggest corporations in general.
Right.
So it's one of those things where beyond music, I had to let the umbrella do its thing.
No, I hear you.
So yeah.
Well, I'm definitely excited to see what you guys do as a squad. We
Oh,
love
it's
seeing
gonna
squads
be
here on the West
it's
Coast.
gonna be
Cause
so crazy. I'm scared.
what you scared of?
I'm so scared of just the catastrophicness. I don't even know if that's a word. Like, I'm just scared of how, like, you guys should be scared. Everyone should just be scared of what's to come. Like, it's going to be so monstrous and amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, how are you gonna handle it when you get to the point where you like can't walk through the mall, can't go to the store, can't go to Starbucks?
I'm still going to walk through the mall, walk to Starbucks, and I'm not going to ever get caged by my fame.
I feel
Like,
that.
that's lame. Like, not going outside. There's people out there. It's people, bro. Like, it's people, you know what I'm saying? And for me, it's like, at the end of the day, like, these are the people that love you so much that they won't let you go to Starbucks. They won't let
Yeah.
you go to, like, you need to make sure that you with these people every day, God willing that none of them are crazy and want to kidnap you or nothing, but, you gotta be with
Rappers
these
is
people.
getting kidnapped nowadays, bruh.
I won't be getting kidnapped.
Like,
That's for sure.
so I know album's coming out 2016, so we just
Yeah.
gotta wait for that for details and a date. What about Chicks Tape 3? I heard that was coming soon.
Honestly, who told you that?
I'm just putting it out there.
You
I'm
just threw
wishful
that
thinking.
out there.
I'm
You
just
like,
wishful
you never
thinking.
heard that. Nah, but honestly, the what's to come is just what's to come. There's things that are about to happen that I think, are just gonna maybe throw a couple people off.
Things
Uh,
like what?
just things, man. Is but that's cool though. It's all a part of calculation and things like that. As far as the Chicks Tape 3, I can't really give you a date on that. I don't know. It's a weird thing. It just happens when it happens. Like the Chicks Tape 1 and the Chicks Tape 2 were 3 years apart.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that's just because I had to go through certain things. I need to get curved,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest with you. I know it sounds weird. I need to get curved, like, by somebody so that, like, I could feel those emotions.
To get angry, to have to
I
get
don't
on
know.
a
I gotta feel
mixtape.
those emotions. I haven't
You need
got
somebody
curved
to
in a
curve
minute.
you?
Like, I need a female to just, like, curve me or something, so I can
Are you
so I
serious?
can write certain records. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Like, for real, I need to be curved.
You can't draw that from previous experiences, like
I can, but it's just so much better when it's happening
When it's
right then and
fresh.
there. You know what I'm saying? Because then you talk about exactly what's happening. It's cool talking about things in the past, and sometimes when you can tap into those emotions, they reflect in a certain way that's like, wow. But when it's happening, it's so much realer because it's everything that's happening in that moment. It's like me coming to you and being like, yo, look what happened today. You know what I'm saying?
I get that every day though.
Yeah, but that's it.
So are you
what
the
it
type of
goes.
person where something happens, you don't say it out loud, you just kind of bottle it up and then just put it out in the studio?
I'm not. If I'm with the homies and I tell everybody what's really going on.
Yeah.
When it's things that are like things that I should keep to myself, I keep it to myself. Like I do understand the line of things that you keep to yourself and things that
That's why you so chill.
Yeah, it's just certain things you keep to yourself, and I'll wait to say it in the record sometimes, and then people will be like, damn, that was going on at that time, and I'll be like, yeah, I mean, that's just what it is, and I always have the things that I'll keep for the records and the things that I'll just tell everybody, and sometimes, and most of the times, it's things that I told people, and they'll hear it in the record too, and be like, ooh, you just,
Well, thank you so much for sliding through. We definitely
Thank
love
you.
sitting down with you, just getting to know you better.
I love sitting down with you.
I'd be like, what am I supposed to say to that?
Nah, nothing. Nah, for real. But all jokes aside, like you're an incredible interviewer. Is that that's a real?
That's a real word.
Okay.
Thank you.
You definitely interviewed
I
me.
appreciate that. He's like, you definitely
Great
interviewed me.
questions.
And so, album's coming 2016. Do we have a name for it yet?
No, I don't. But
Look out
I'm
for
still
it.
I'm still in the creative process of it. But look out for it. It's definitely gonna be legendary.
And if people want to follow you, check on you, see when this album's coming.
Yes. Go on my Instagram, Instagram /Tory Lanez, ToryLanez. Same thing as my Twitter /Tory Lanez. And if you guys are trying to follow the movement, the Swave Nation movement, the genre, type in swavenation.com or facebook.com/Swave Nation.
It's what it is. Your girl Shay Diddy, the one and only Tory Lanez.
Yeah.